concerns. And if you have questions throughout this presentation, just put them in the comments. I may not get to it right away. From time to time, I'll come back to my different live streams. For example, I got one over here on Twitch. I don't check very often, but I do come back and check maybe every 15 to 20 minutes or so. Alright, so this video is if you're constipated and if you find this video, you were meant to see this. Okay, you were meant to see this educational program. I want to teach you guys how you can resolve constipation in the comfort of your own home. Now, a lot of people all over the world are chronically constipated. They do not know how to fix this problem. I'm going to give you guys the protocol right here. What you guys got to do, you need to go from the picture on the left to the picture on the right. Most people cannot perform this basic function. What we're looking at is the colon. The colon is where you have fecal formation, feces formation. And many people all over the world, they have a colon that is completely encrusted with hardened fecal matter. And we're going to solve it. These are the ingredients you need. Go get these at the grocery store. You need apple cider vinegar, the ones without any sugar added. Next, you need limes, lemons, or grapefruit. I've used grapefruits the last couple of years. I think these are the best tasting. You can use food grade Epsom salt, or you can use pink salt. Okay, so this is pink salt. You can also buy yourself some food grade Epsom salt. Black coffee is prepared separately. Okay. I'm going to teach you guys how to put all these into a stainless steel thermos. You want to make sure you get yourself some tools for this protocol. And give you guys a picture real quick. These are the things you want to get at the grocery store. Get yourself a bottle of water. This is about 2 liters in volume. This is a metal mesh screener. Single press squeezer. You may have this in your house already. Then you need some measuring spoons. You want to make sure you find ones that are accurate, that actually say the amount of milliliters on them. Over here, this is my apple cider vinegar. This is pink salt. Of course, you can use food grade Epsom salt. You want to get yourself a stainless steel thermos. That's going to be over 1 liter in volume. Then you're going to get yourself a stainless steel cup, okay, for your black coffee. Black coffee is completely optional. If you don't drink coffee, that's perfectly fine. Okay. Now we're going to mix everything in the stainless steel thermos. Give you guys some specific directions. Many people, they mess up on the timing because there is an extended fasting period. So the night before, you're finishing dinner around 7:30 p.m. You can still drink some liquids, but you're not eating any late night snacks. The next morning, you can still drink some liquids, but you're keeping your stomach empty. Do not eat any breakfast. You need about 15 hours of fasting where you can still drink water, liquids, whatever. You're not eating any food. That's why I say 7:30 p.m., finish dinner, okay? Do whatever you need to do. Go to bed early. Next morning, wake up. No breakfast, but you can still drink some liquids. At 11 a.m. on an empty stomach, I want you to put all these ingredients in the stainless steel thermos. This is where you're going to put it. You're going to add 1 tablespoon and 2 teaspoons of pink salt or food grade Epsom salt. So that's 25 milliliters of salt total. You're going to cut and squeeze 3 lemons or limes or 1 grapefruit filtered. You want to filter through the metal mesh screener. You're going to add a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. That's going to be about 60 milliliters. Add 2.5 cups of hot water, okay, in the stainless steel thermos, and you want to stir. You want to begin to stir this up. There's a lot of salt in there, or food grade Epsom salt. You want to make sure it dissolves very evenly. Take your time. Take 30 seconds, 45 seconds stirring this up. After you add that hot water, stirring it up, you want to add another cup of room temperature water to kind of bring back down the temperature of the solution. Now that I have taught this program to many, first I learned this program from myself back in 2019 through Josh Mason. He had a great video on it. Now I've made some slight modifications to it for myself. I've done it hundreds of times. I've taught my own family members how to do this, and I taught hundreds of people all over the world how to do this. And I taught this people over in the US and the UK, and also people here in Taiwan. So if you are on this call and if you want to use Chinese, I can also do presentations in Chinese, explain things a lot easier for you. Now, here's the protocol. Just put it in the stainless steel thermos, black coffee, prepare separately. Everything goes inside the stainless steel thermos. You have a bottle of water right here. Black coffee, prepare separately, optional. Now the next part, a lot of people mess up on the salt flush protocol because they don't drink it properly. I've done this hundreds and hundreds of times. I still do this on a weekly basis. Our goal is to resolve constipation. The way that we do that is we want to clean out the pipework, the small and large intestines combined. Okay, we want to make sure everything goes out of our body safely, because your body is a very, very long piece of pipework. Looking at your digestive system, food enters your mouth, down the esophagus, into your stomach. Digestive enzymes start to break down the food. Food enters your small intestines next, which is 4.5 meters, followed by your large intestine, another 1.5 meters in length. So that's about 20 feet total, or 6 meters. Now the protocol that I just described is something that you drink down. You may find a lot of other protocols online that talk about, oh, you can use coffee enemas, water enemas. I'm not about that. I tried those before and I was not effective with it. Now this protocol, this is how you drink it down. This is not something you put behind your back end. You're going to take a tiny sip of this water, hold it in your mouth. And when this thing cools down, when you first begin to drink this, it may be too hot. Just take some small sips to begin. So tiny sip of this water, hold it in your mouth. Take a slightly bigger gulp of the salt flush solution, drink it down, and you're gonna sip on black coffee. Sip on it, you're not drinking it. Just like over here, you're sipping this, but you're not. But over here, you're trying to put this thing down, okay? So number one, sip on the bottled water, hold it in your mouth. Take a bigger gulp of the salt flush solution and drink it down. Sip on black coffee, optional. You want to repeat steps 1 through 3, but the goal is to finish the salt flush solution first. You want to put this thing in your stomach so they can begin to clean out your pipework and produce a laxative effect by cleaning out the small and large intestines combined. People, they do this protocol incorrectly because sometimes people, they drink both the salt flush solution and the water combined. That is way too much water. You're going to feel very bloated, very uncomfortable, and you're going to dilute down the salt flush solution, so you may not have that laxative effect. You want to drink it in the way that I described. Small sip, bigger gulp, and then a tiny sip. The coffee is simply there to kind of give you a familiar taste so you can repeat this process over and over again. Because most people, when they start doing this, it's very uncomfortable, so I highly recommend, hey, if you don't like the taste, you can use a stainless steel straw and it can help you avert the taste. Now you can also listen to some classical music when you're at this. This is not a race. You can take 45 minutes, 1 hour, an hour and a half, I don't care how long. Tiny sip, bigger gulp, and then take a tiny sip of this coffee, repeat 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And you want to put this inside your stomach so they can begin to do the cleaning work. Now over here, this is a much simplified picture of your digestive system. A lot of people don't know what their digestive system is all about. Food enters your mouth, down the esophagus, into your stomach. Digestive enzymes start to break down the food. Food enters your small intestines next. So right now, as you're drinking this, the salt flush solution, it begins to work its way inside the small intestine. Begins to clean it out, begins to clean out the debris. The solution's going to be warm, but it's not going to be burning hot where you cannot drink it down. It has some temperature to it. You can't let it sit so long it becomes cool. Depending on where you are, temperature might be kind of cool. So that the solution actually gets cool, I want to heat it back up. Thermodynamics say that heat expands and cold contracts. As we're drinking this hot solution, you may sweat just a little bit, and this hot solution is going to go through the pipes and kind of expand it a little bit. There is so much trash that is stuck inside the small and large intestines. And also the small intestines has a surface area of a football field. That's how big it is. Over years of eating, there's still remnants of old debris, things that you've eaten all over the years. And now we're just bombarded with microplastics. There's a lot of microplastics stuck inside the small intestine. As you're drinking the solution, it's going to work its way through the small intestines, and it's going to push the material in the large intestine, and this is how you feel a bowel movement that is going to come on. Okay. Our goal is to clean out the small and large intestines using this solution here. Very simple set of ingredients. Mix it all in a stainless steel thermos and drinking it in a very calm manner. You want to learn how to breathe deeply where your stomach falls up and down. A lot of people, you're breathing in your upper chest because you're very, very anxious. Do whatever you can to get into that relaxed environment, a relaxed state of mind. You can also listen to classical music. I listen to Rachmaninoff, Piano Concerto 2, Movement 2 on repeat when I do this. And it helps me calm down. Or sometimes I divert my attention to something else entirely. Maybe I watch a YouTube video. I kind of forget what I'm trying to accomplish today. Even though in the back of my mind, I'm focused on finishing the selfless solution. And over time, some people, it's different for everybody. Sometimes after 45 minutes after you drink it, maybe an hour later, you may have this unction to use the bathroom. Now, what's going to happen is that the solids are going to first come out. Now, when you first start doing this, you may see some different color poop like you've never seen before. You may see complete pitch black. I'm talking like charcoal. Through years of eating and years of chronic constipation, most people, their colon is encrusted with hardened fecal matter. Hardened fecal matter on the outside walls of this colon. There's never a really clean exit of the number 2 for most people. And we'll discuss a lot of liabilities concerns. If you do not resolve chronic constipation, you're going to have many other problems. Over time, you're going to relax even more, and then it's going to transition over to soft poop. And you just let it all fall out, let it all fall out. Okay, you're never squeezing, you're never trying to force anything out. It just comes out on its own. Now, none of this professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment, because everyone's a little bit different. You may need assistance with other protocols before attempting this one. This could be for someone that's only 1 to 2 days chronically constipated. Okay, now you want to catch it when it's only 1 to 2 days. Some people, that wait so long that 1 to 2 day chronic constipation becomes 2 to 3 days. Then it becomes 3 to 4 days. Then it becomes 4 to 5 days. Some people, they're a whole week in. I'm going to talk about so many practical pessimism later. Over time, the soft poop is going to transition to really, really soft poop, kind of like watery stuff coming out. When that happens, this is what I want you to do. I want you to continue to drink this water safely. Okay, you're adding more water pressure when you're drinking it, and then you're exhaling through the nose. So you're only drinking down the water pressure. You don't want to add all that extra bubbles or gas into your stomach. Just drink the water, hold it in your mouth, exhale the air, drink it down, adding more water pressure through this digestive tract, because right now everything is opened up. Everything, you just purge all the material from the small and large intestines. It's still coming out, still coming out, still coming out. And then you're going to have water, added water pressure. You're adding more water pressure to the top of this pipe, And as it's going to come down, it's going to flow through the small intestines, going to go through your large intestines and out the back. And you're going to create something called diarrhea tsunami. Most people do not believe me when I share this with them. They think that is just exaggeration, hyperbole. John doesn't know what he's talking about. I have coached hundreds of people with this. And most people, you're right, they don't believe me when I first explain this to them. And I make it a believer out of them if they follow through on my directions to the T, so they can be successful the first time through. There is no rush. Often people make the mistake of drinking it so fast. They think that is type of a race, or they see the results of other people, see the testimonies of other people, and they're like, I want to be like them. I want to be like them. And they give them all this added pressure. Listen, this is between you and you. You are chronically constipated. And how do I define chronic constipation? It's simply you're not going to the bathroom on a daily basis. That's how I define it. If you're going to eat twice a day, you should be going twice a day. If you cannot commit yourself, if your body cannot complete that important key performance indicator, you're chronically constipated. And over the years, it's not going to get better on its own. It's only going to get worse. You got to learn how to purge this pipe work. And after you do this purging, you'll notice the water is going to become lighter and lighter and lighter. What exactly happened? By doing this protocol, you're flushing out all the debris from the small and large intestines. The salt flush that you just drank earlier, it's already in the toilet. And now you're just adding more water pressure to continue to flush out this pipe work to give yourself a fresh start. That's what we're looking for. We're letting your body have a fresh start. And I do this on a weekly basis. Just once a week I do this. And I've been doing this for over 5 years, since 2019. Okay? Just like how I brush my teeth every single day. After I work out, I usually shower. Afterwards, have that routine in. That's an important KPI, very, very blessed. Now, when it comes to my own personal health, I'm from the area where I talk about, hey, you need to clean your body from the inside. If you can restore the functions of the inside, like your small and large intestines, later on you learn about your other organs, such as your liver, your pancreas, your gallbladder, your kidneys. What can we do to improve the conditions of our internal organs? Then we're really talking. Now, I also highly recommend you guys get some type of a stool. You can lift up your feet a little bit. Now, the human being, we're not designed to use the bathroom on a 90 degree. This modern toilet has caused so much pain and discomfort for people all over the world. We're meant to use the bathroom at a squatting position. I don't care if you think it's primitive, I'm just saying, just give it a try. Or if you are in certain places of the world, they have these squat toilets installed already in public restrooms. And using them is like night and day, because you just sit on them and then you're up. Everything just falls out easily. There's no huffing and puffing, begging and pleading. You're making deals with the Almighty. None of that. You're in and out. So over here's another trick. I highly recommend also lifting up the toilet seat. You can just wipe the toilet bowl down, clean it, and sit directly on the toilet without the toilet seat, because the toilet seat is going to add pressure to your butt cheeks, which is going to squeeze in the anus. So that it's going to give you even more pressure, making it hard for the poop to come out. And that's what we're talking about here. And that is the protocol I've been using for over 5 years. And after you do this protocol, you want to take a little bit of probiotics. You don't have to buy these. These are just examples you can find. You want to find ones that work for you. And you want to eat something very easy. Maybe you eat some congee, maybe some oatmeal, maybe some crackers, maybe some papaya. Okay, you can't go back into the trash eating you've been doing. It's the trash eating that's what caused you all the chronic constipation in the first place. Okay, you got to learn how to renew your mind, renew your nutrition plan. What you want to find the right nutrition plan for you. And that's going to take time, it's going to take effort, kind of experimenting. but very likely it's going to have to do with natural foods. It's not going to come in a box. Now, most people, they know things like this. Oh, I got to be eating healthy. And I highly recommend, yes, you do need to be eating healthy, especially after you do detox protocols, because now you have a renewed small intestine nutrient absorption, right? When you have a clean small intestine, it'll be able to assimilate and put these nutrients into your cells. We're a collection of cells, cells into systems. Now, before you start doing any detox, your small intestine was caked up with a whole bunch of trash, microplastics. Even if you were eating the best nutritious food, the most expensive whole food supplements, your body wasn't able to assimilate all those nutrients in. Now, with a clean small intestine, going forward, if you were to eat that trash food again, your body is going to revolt. You may feel very nauseous, maybe you'll throw up. And that is the right way your body should react. Because for the longest time, most of us, we've bullied our own physical body. We just kept eating trash and that became a routine. Our fridge is full of frozen pizzas, things you can just throw in a microwave, and that became a routine. So I want you guys to rethink about your life, okay? About how you're going to get your body healthy. We talk about chronic constipation, how you can resolve it using these all-natural ingredients, putting it into a stainless steel thermos. The reason why I tell y'all to use a stainless steel thermos is because you will be using the bathroom many times. Okay, we're going to create a laxative effect, the diarrhea tsunami, and some of you may be running back and forth. If you were to use anything glass, ceramic, items that could break, you may knock things over. If you knock things over, they're going to shatter all over the floor. Now you have something that is wet on the floor, and you're going to slip trying to go to the bathroom. You're going to slip and fall. You're going to fall on the glass. Then you're going to cut yourself. You're going to end up at the ER. And the ER is like, what the hell has this happened to you? Because you're shitting out of your behind. And you're still cutting yourself up. You got glass cuts all over the place. And then you tell them, listen, I just watched this YouTube video. Please don't mention my name. I already told y'all, do not use any items that could break. Always think in terms of liabilities, concerns, and practical pessimism, what could go wrong. And this program may not be the one for you. Because if you are severely, chronically constipated, I'm talking about you're backed up for over a week. This may not be right for you. You may have to look into something called colon hydrotherapy. Colon hydrotherapy, I have not even done this myself. I had a friend, she was in this industry, and she said it really helped her with her own personal health. This is what it's all about. Most people don't know how this works. You're laying here on this apparatus with your feet up, and the colon hydrotherapist, they're going to put hot water through your back end to help loosen up the dead and waste material stuck inside your colon. This is your colon, okay? This is a picture over here, colon hydrotherapist putting it up. So you got a bunch of poop lumps that are stuck in the colon, and their goal is to kind of loosen it up. You kind of divide and conquer this, so all this waste material can go outside the body. And there's some people, they're so backed up, they need to go in every single day for a whole week just to kind of clear it out. That's how bad their situation is. That depends on how far down you are. You're just going to have to work with your colon hydrotherapist and find what's right for you. Now, you also need to communicate with them well, because let them know what your nutrition plan is like right now. Doesn't matter what it is, just be honest with them. Tell them what type of bowel movements are you having now, how regular it is, and kind of consistency, the shape, the color, everything. Because they know what to do. If you don't communicate well with them, they might put in that water pressure too quick. If they put in that water pressure too quick, you may have perforations in the colon. That means you have fecal matter that is exuding out of your digestive tract, and you might go into sepsis shock and end up at the ER. Whatever you do in life, doesn't matter if it's colon hydrotherapy, doesn't matter if you decide to do my protocol, or if you do another protocol that you find online. There's always a risk. Recognize what those risks are. But also recognize that, listen, there's also a risk if you do nothing. Most people, chronically constipated, this is what they do. They sit on the toilet, they got veins popping out of the side of their temples, and after all that work, after all that huffing and puffing, they get a little pebble out of all that work. That was me. In my 20s and 30s, I had different bouts of chronic constipation. I did not know how to solve it. I even tried different medications that did not work. So when people on these different forms, they have chronic constipation, I know their pain, their struggle, because I've been down that path before. And now I'm right here on the other side, where this is no longer a thing in my life anymore. Because right now I've restored my small and large intestines, I'm eating healthy, right? I'm resting proper, I'm drinking enough water throughout the whole day, right? I'm doing everything that I can to understand my body even more. And I've gone so much more outside of just dealing with chronic constipation. We have so much to teach you here on this channel. And I want to develop a community here where you guys, we are just working together to learn more how we can improve the conditions of our health. Now I'm going to spin through my social media real quick to see if there are any comments, questions. So over here. So I want to thank some of your individuals who've been watching my videos, and you guys took action right away. And looking at my video, you guys tried it, worked out wonderful, then you guys supported my program, and I want to thank you guys for that. Really appreciate it. Just want to give you guys all the small details you need to be successful with this protocol. One of the reasons why I do these live calls is because I can connect with you live, right? So if you have any questions, I can kind of guide you along the way. Now, we're going to get to a segment where I talk about how big is this market? Chronic constipation, from my research, is undefeated. This market just keeps growing and growing and growing over the years. Never stop. It is recession proof. You guys understand what I'm talking about. Doesn't matter what the stock market is doing. Doesn't matter what real estate is doing. Doesn't even matter what cryptocurrency. It doesn't matter. Inflation, deflation. I don't care any economic policy and plan. People are chronically constipated all over the world. I did a keyword analysis. People are keying in chronic constipation in all different languages. English, Spanish, Russian, Portuguese, Chinese, anywhere, every Arabic, Uzbek, Tajik, Farsi, everyone is putting in constipation. And when elimination is incomplete, residues are all feces. They're building up on the layers in the walls of the colon. As they putrefy means decay and rot, they can cause health problems, pain, and discomfort. And that's what most people have. Going to give you guys continued liability concerns and practical pessimism. Now this is just going to continue to build up over time. This is your colon. Okay, I want you guys to really study your digestive health by looking at human physiology. I did not go to medical school, but I still picked up a few books on human physiology. I went through different websites, and there are books that you can check out on archive.org or Library of Congress. Human physiology is wonderful because today we're talking about the digestive system, and I can tell you categorically we're all the same when it comes to this system. It doesn't matter your religious background, the color of your skin, your eye color, your hair color, okay, your political beliefs, none of that stuff matters. We all have this pipework. Food enters your mouth down the esophagus into your stomach. Food enters your small intestines next, 4.5 meters, followed by the large intestine, 1.5 meters, and out the back for elimination. Now, I want to give you guys a quick glance about just how long is this pipe work. When I just relate this back to basketball, it's a lot more clear. So every year they have this dunk contest. So from the floor to that basketball rim is 10 feet or roughly 3 meters off the floor. Now for the human adult, the combined length of your small and large intestines is 2 of those. So basically, you have one NBA basketball hoop stacked on top of one another, and that would be the combined length or height of your small and large intestines. Okay, so think of it like this. You got one NBA hoop and another one on top, and that combined height is the length of your small and large intestines. You got to clean out this pipework comprehensively, not just focusing on what's happening here in the colon, because there's so much things we're going to discuss. Over here, people wait too long, and they have something called toxic megacolon. Extremely problematic because it becomes life-threatening. It's a life-threatening complication, inflammatory bowel diseases. They can be painful, cause permanent damage to the large and small intestines. Now, these IBDs include ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, infections caused by this other colitis. Toxic megacolon is characterized with swelling and dilation of the large intestine due to the inflammation and accumulation of a large amount of gas. Now, just because I'm reading these different medical tests doesn't mean I'd agree with everything that they say. I think there's a lot more than gas inside this colon. What we're looking at here came out of a human being. This is not some colon of a silverback gorilla. Came out of a human being. This part right here, they completely removed because it's got so enlarged, got so inflamed. When you have an enlarged toxic megacolon, it is pushing against other organs. Sometimes you may have trouble breathing. It's causing inflammation around the whole body. This toxic waste is still sitting there inside the colon, and it's going to find its way to exude and ooze out if you don't get rid of it. Okay? And this person is definitely somebody that waited too long to resolve this. Now, you may be wondering, what the hell is this person going to do now? Because if the doctor removed this colon here, what does he do to actually have a proper bowel movement? How does he get rid of the waste material? We're going to talk about that. After you do a surgery like this, there are so many other medical procedures the Western medicine has already got lined up for you, okay? This is a huge market. They don't want this market to contract. They don't want to give you any real solutions that are out there. So you have to find a solution for you so you can avoid this altogether. Today we're going to talk about some different medical procedures. We're first taking a quick look at this colon, see the ascending, transverse, and descent. Now, if there's something wrong with the descending portion of the colon, this is called a left hemicolectomy. So right here, let's just say the descending portion of your colon is messed up. They say, hey, we got to cut it out. They're going to cut this out and they reattach. You'll see a lot of this. And I want you guys to learn this so you don't have to go down this path. Because oftentimes you're very anxious, you go to the hospital, you don't know what's going on, and they throw up a CT scan, MRI scan, an X-ray. You don't even know what you're looking at because you never study this. So that's why you need to study this now. Over here, somebody had this portion of the colon completely removed. This is the disease section of the colon removed. And you may be wondering, well, how does the poop go from here to here, out the back for elimination? Well, they have something it's called colostomy. In some cases, after the surgeon removes a portion of the colon, it may be necessary to attach the remaining colon to the outside of the body in a procedure called colostomy. Creating a hole, stoma, in the abdominal wall allows waste to leave the body. A colostomy bag attached to the stoma to collect the waste. If you are in any elderly care centers, if you are in the ICU, go take a tour. You'll find individuals with this. Okay? And I do not want to have this ever. Right? So what do I need to do? I don't want that inflammation get trapped inside my body. I need to get the waste material out. If I'm a few days chronically constipated, if you're watching this few days chronically constipated, you need to resolve it because it doesn't get any better. Now, somebody over here, they're dealing with the ascending portion of their colon, so something went wrong with the ascending portion. Over here, this is the appendix. Over here, this is where your small intestine is attached to the large intestine, and it's going to come up through the ascending portion, over here, transverse, and finally down. If something went wrong with the ascending portion of the colon, this portion is completely removed. Now, you may be wondering, well, what happens to the small intestine? Well, they just reattach it. Small intestine attached to the remaining colon. This is a right hemicolectomy. All right. Coming back to this person had a toxic megacolon. They got the whole colon completely removed. Now, this is the medical procedure. It's called ileoanal anastomosis. Okay, so you may be wondering, well, how did this person poop now that the colon is removed? They're going to take this 4.5 meters of the small intestine and start to work with it. They're going to create a pouch and attach it to your anus. Okay? Your surgeon may connect your small intestines to your anus. This allows you to expel waste normally, although you'll likely have several watery bowel movements daily. One of the functions of your large intestine is to draw out water, when that fecal formation takes place. Now, without that function, you just lose control. You may not even have any sensation of these bowel movements coming on at all. Things just falls out. And you may have to wear adult diapers for the rest of your life. So I want to give you a healthy dose of fear, because a lot of you out there, you don't have a healthy dose of fear. You always wait until some type of severe problem finally takes place. Then you try to resolve it. Okay? It's kind of like a person, their dashboard in their car is lighting up like a Christmas tree. They light it like a Christmas tree and it says, oh, I saw this video online. All I have to do is unplug the battery and then let it sit about 5 minutes and plug it back in, and the dashboard light up goes away. Now, most of you, that's how you run life. The body's already giving you some signals. It's like, hey, something is wrong here. You need to fix this. You need to fix this. And they tell you through, you're missing this KPI. A lot of ladies actually watch this channel, and a lot of you are probably moms. Let's just think about if your newborn baby is not going to the bathroom daily. Wouldn't you be worried? Now, somehow as adults, we think that, oh, we're adults now. That daily KPI going to the bathroom is no longer important. Wrong. You need to renew your mind regarding that. So I'm going to spin through my social media real quick. Oh yeah, I'm also on YouTube. YouTube is probably the best place to catch me. No, I'm streaming on other platforms. I haven't been able to get the dimensions just right. And I'm still learning how to get this streaming thing down. But all these calls are recorded. And if you're on YouTube, it's definitely recorded and you guys can watch it later. You can also leave comments. If you have any additional questions, I can address them in the next video that I make. Same thing on Twitter. There are certain platforms, for example, I think on Kick or Twitch, even though I stream, they don't save the video. So I'm not sure how that works. If you know how this stuff works, let me know. Ideally, I would like to be able to upload, to Twitch or whatever, and then they will save the video so other people can watch it later. Because many people, they need this information, and then they can decouple themselves from dependent to Western medicine. Right. I'm going to click over here. Over here. Put in your questions. Dang, that's slow. No worries, I'm going to keep on going with the presentation. I just want to check if there are any questions. So when you're on this live stream, on the desktop, it'll be on your right hand side. If you're on your phone, there's a place where you can just type in your questions. Alright, so coming back to the presentation, we've been discussing different liability concerns, okay? Megacolon, and then different procedures after if they remove a portion of your colon or if they remove your colon completely. And this is just a partial list. I'm sure there's so many variations to this. And if you just study bariatric surgery, right, different ways they can make your stomach smaller and all the different procedures, how they can reroute your small and large intestines. I'm sure there's so many other variations to these procedures, hemicolectomies, anastomosis. If you want to avoid all that, fix chronic constipation. Over here, this is lady, she was only 23 years old, suffering from chronic constipation, discovers her colon severely displaced. Now, always coming back to human physiology, looking at this colon, the ascending portion transverse and then finally down and out the back for elimination. When you get a scan of her colon is all over the place. First it goes up, then it loops back down like a kink in the hose, then it loops back up into her lungs. This is in her lungs area, and finally down for waste elimination. When she's standing up, all this waste material was traveled up here against gravity just to make its way up to this point in the colon before finding its way back down. And I don't know what type of procedure she had to go through, because right now her colon is so contorted, right? And there's going to be a lot of things. And she's very young. Maybe her doctor, they find some ways to get the waste material out and then let her colon kind of sit back in the original place, get the probiotics in. I don't know. Diverticulitis is also very, very common. This occurs when diverticula start to form in the GI tract and become inflamed and infected. This condition commonly occurs in the Western population and can be seen in 10% of people over the age of 40 and 50% over the age of 60. The rate of this disease typically increases with age. Scientists believe that this condition is due to not eating enough fibers. Not eating enough fiber leads to constipation, which puts extra pressure on the colon walls, and this causes diverticula or bulges to form in the weak areas of the colon. The risk factors for diverticulitis may include age over 40, male, overweight, eating a low fiber diet, eating a higher fat and red meat, not enough exercise, taking non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like aspirin, ibuprofen, steroids, opioids, and smoking. Moreover, the signs and symptoms of this condition include pain, tenderness in the left lower side of the abdomen, nausea, vomiting, chills, cramps in the lower abdomen, constipation, diarrhea, rectal bleeding. Now, just because I'm reading this doesn't mean I completely agree with what they say. Now, when you have chronic constipation, you go to the doctors. They're going to tell you, oh, it's because you're not eating enough fiber. You're not eating enough fiber. It doesn't make any sense. If you can't even resolve this, if you cannot go from the picture on the left to the picture on the right, why would you pack in more fiber? You're going to add more problems to your digestive tract. And this colon is going to continue to dilate. That said the same thing to my grandmother. She had chronic constipation at that time, very uncomfortable, nothing was working. And what did the doctors tell her to do? Eat more fiber. Psyllium husk, something like that. Now, did it help with her constipation? No. And a lot of you know that too. Whatever solutions they're dishing out right now is not working. Okay, doesn't matter if they say, oh, all you gotta do is eat more fiber. Plenty of people are eating fiber, still not helping them out. Plenty of people taking laxatives, not helping them out. Plenty of people getting prescription strength laxatives, not helping them out. If it worked so well, constipation would have been solved completely, right? But it ain't, so that's why I gotta make this video. Crohn's disease. This is another gastrointestinal disease, part of the IBD, inflammatory bowel diseases. This condition occurs when there is inflammation in the small intestine and colon. The main symptoms of Crohn's disease are diarrhea, stomach aches or cramps, blood in the stools, tiredness, fatigue, weight loss. It is thought to believe Crohn's disease caused due to genes, a problem in the immune system, smoking, a previous stomach bug, and an abnormal balance of gut bacteria. The risk factors for this condition include family history, smoking, certain medications like antibiotics, birth control pill, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs such as aspirin, ibuprofen, high-fat diet. Okay, so over here, the inflammation is not only in the small intestine, but also in the large intestine. But the symptoms are very similar to diverticulitis, right? You keep on seeing the same thing. Stomach aches and cramps, okay, diarrhea, blood in the stools. Over here, there's ulcerative colitis. This happens when you have inflammation in your colon. Most people with UC experience periods of symptom flare-ups followed by periods of remission without symptoms. Once again, the signs and symptoms include diarrhea, bloody stools, abdominal cramping, and weight loss. Treatments include medications and surgery. It's very tough, I say, for these doctors to decipher what do we really have here? Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, or you're dealing with diverticulitis, because the symptoms are very similar one to the next, right? So for those of y'all taking a lot of antibiotics, this will become problematic because it's going to destroy your microbiome. You do need probiotics, and they protect your outer lining of the small and large intestines. Without that protective layer, this is one of the reasons why you may get this ulcerative surface. And what do doctors usually prescribe? They prescribe a lot of corticosteroids. Corticosteroids, immunosuppressants, biologics, different forms of these medications which suppress the immune system. You may have these symptom flare-ups, and then the doctors have you take anti-inflammatory drugs and also immunosuppressants. So temporarily, you're not seeing these symptom flare-ups. You're like, you're okay. No, you're not okay. You're just suppressing the symptom flare-ups. That's what you're doing. Now, I'm going to get some really embarrassing information, but this is all real, okay? I want you to spend some time talking to your local proctologist. There are many people out there that have a rectal prolapse. A rectal prolapse, basically the rectum has turned inside out. They've been sitting on their toilet for such a long time and straining on that toilet, and over time, all that pressure is pushing out the rectum. A lot of old people have this. That's what their daily struggle is like for a lot of elderly people. They just want to eat a nice meal and go to the bathroom, but they can't do neither because this is a daily struggle for them. And this is one of the root reasons why people have a really terrible body odor, or you feel like there's an old people smell, like old people that have this particular smell. A lot of it has to do with the prolapsed rectum. There's always remnants of poop, okay? And they may be experiencing rectal bleeding. They may have diarrhea. They're always wiping themselves, you guys understand. And it just becomes more and more uncomfortable by the day. Over here, somebody may experience anal fissures. They're just sitting on the toilet for a very long time. There's a crack, okay? There's a splitting, and there's some type of a breakage right around the anus. Very painful sometimes. Now, when you talk to your doctors, say, what is the real root cause of a rectal prolapse or my anal fissure? Oftentimes, they have this script. They just keep reading. They might say, well, several factors are thought to be linked to rectal prolapse. There's no clear-cut cause. An estimated 30% to 67% of patients have chronic constipation. Infrequent stools is severe straining, and an additional 15% have diarrhea. Wouldn't that be a pretty clear-cut cause? Chronic constipation. But they don't want to fix that. Okay, so in the past, this condition was assumed to be linked to giving birth multiple times by vaginal delivery. However, as many as 35% of patients with rectal prolapse never gave birth, and it can occur in men. There might be some genetic predisposition. They say that a lot. Okay, you're genetically predisposed to have this condition. In other words, some patients are more prone, based on their genes, to develop this condition while others don't. You don't have to agree with everything you see on the internet, including this presentation. You need to continue to do research for yourself, right? You need to find a protocol that is right for you and resolve chronic constipation. Over here, you have a lot of people all over the world that are dealing with internal hemorrhoids, external hemorrhoids, or piles. These are swollen veins inside your rectum or outside of your anus, causing pain, anal itching, and rectal bleeding. Because you are feeling that itch, right? So you're scratching it. So as you're scratching it over time, it's going to bleed. That's what's going to happen. Symptoms often improve with at-home treatments, but on occasion, people need medical procedures. Eating more fiber can help prevent hemorrhoids. Listen, maybe fiber is not the first place that you go to. At the beginning of this presentation, I give you guys a solution. Give you guys a sulfate solution, and it's in liquid form. Okay, I want you guys to completely filter it so there's no sediments, there's no pulp, no seeds, because I do not want to add more things into your system. Okay, and over here, some people, they have to end up seeing a proctologist. A proctologist, let me just click on here. These are specialized, highly specialized medical doctors who are called colorectal surgeons. These experts diagnose and treat conditions of the entire gastrointestinal tract, but specifically issues involving the rectum and anus. Okay, so a lot of people, they may have problems with hemorrhoids or piles, anal fissures, or they have a rectal prolapse. They go see a proctologist. So just think about this guy, this person's job every single day. They have to look at an ass every single day, and it smells down there. They have to deal with rectal bleeding, right? They have to somehow comfort these people and maybe provide some surgical procedures to remove the hemorrhoids, okay, patch up the anal fissure, somehow tuck in the rectal prolapse. That's their job. Now, the problem is that have they solved the root of the problem? The root of the problem is upstream. The root of the problem is chronic constipation. Let's just say if you deal with these symptoms, you fix these, right? What the proctologist does, they're looking at this area here. They're saying, you have this problem, this problem, this problem. We're going to do these procedures here, this and that, and third, fix you up. Well, if you are chronically constipated and you continue to strain on the toilet, you're going to develop new hemorrhoids. You're going to have new anal fissures. You're going to prolapse again. Do you guys see what I'm talking about? And these are uncomfortable topics most people do not want to talk about. And I address them here. Give you guys the practical pessimism so you can somehow fix your problem early. Okay? Go through my social media real quick. All right. We talked a lot of different topics today, and I want to continue on. And I can tell the future. I can tell the future. If you don't change right now, this will be your future. You'll be on some type of Facebook forum or group where you're chronically constipated looking for answers, and you're going to find tens of thousands of other people doing the same thing. And you'll scroll through all these different forums and find yourself in a bunch of dead ends, a lot of detours and dead ends. So before that happens, I want you to read these detours and dead ends way before you're down that path. Okay? So a lot of people are posting anonymously. They just keep on saying things like, sorry to be crude, but there's a big lump of poop that won't come out. What do I do? Anyone, any idea? Suffer from constipation now and again? Especially when I've been eating crap for the past couple of weeks. I've been constipated. When I go to the toilet, nothing is coming out, or if it does, it's hard. Also been bloated, especially upper tummy, and feel like trapped wind feeling, plus since yesterday, not really got an appetite. Tried Ducales, never really worked. Eating more healthy now, and now trying lactulose since Tuesday, but feel like it's just making me fart. Also to mention being having some stress and anxiety with family members being in hospital. What can I do to help get my tummy back to normal? Thanks. The consultant has put me on plead and glycerol suppository. Any reviews? Hi everyone, had a horrible couple of days. A lot of wet would come out and I couldn't push out what was behind it, but after many attempts making me sore, I finally did go. What I wanted to ask, do you ever feel queasy to your tummy because of constipation or bowel problems? Sometimes I think it's all the worry and the stress the constipation causes. Alright, over here, this is a big problem, and it's very real, okay? Has anyone vomited fecal matter because it couldn't go down? What did you need to do about it? As somebody tells this person, please go to the ER, this is dangerous. What this person described is feculent vomiting, okay? So you have some type of mechanical intestinal obstruction, and you left it there for so long, and that waste material begins to work its way back to the upside. So waste material not going out, right? Then it's going to get backed up and backed up and backed up. All that trash is going to get backed up through the small intestines, and now you're just puking it up because it only can go one or the other. This waste material can go through the mouth or out the back. And some people, they just push it off for so long. And over here, there's another person. What's the longest you've gone without poop? Somebody said, 4 weeks. What's hell? I was throwing up feces. I'll block myself suppositories eventually. I'm so tired of this. This morning I was driving, all of a sudden it hits me. I didn't make it to the bathroom, all over my shorts and car seat. I'm so incredibly exhausted from this. I'm to the point of wearing adult diapers. There was a lot of mucus. This is normal. No, if you have no control over your bowel movements, it's never normal. Okay? I've been reading around and it seems to be that lenses, ametiza, motegrity, and most of these eventually stop working. Has anyone noticed that or any other ideas? Can't believe what we're left to do to be comfortable. I'm so backed up, my stomach is very bloated, looks and feel I'm 9 months pregnant. This is affecting my quality of life, getting depressed to try so many things and is still not able to clean out. Horrible, horrible, horrible. I'm impacted. All home remedies, OTC laxatives, enemas, dietary changes, additions, nutritional oils quit working last month all of a sudden. The ER couldn't reach it, and their enemas didn't work. The highest dosage of lenses does nothing. And the Miralax, colonoscopy prep is giving me overflow diarrhea. Small bits are coming off the impaction, probably from the hospital enemas I got Saturday. What else can I do? I feel like the impaction is just way too big to get out, and seems like nothing is softening it enough. As you're reading these forums, you realize they're only detours and dead ends. Okay? So you can't expect to say, oh, we are so modern now, I'm sure the doctors will have all these solutions for something simple as chronic constipation. I just have to listen to their advice. Well, listen to people that have gone down that road. They've listened to their advice. They've seen one specialist after the next, one gastro doctor after the next. They've already went through all the OTC medications, went through all the prescription strength. There is nothing left for them to do. Over here, hello, I've been struggling with severe chronic constipation for a couple of years now. Years. But it's only gotten worse over the last 6 months or so. I've been prescribed Trulance and Linzess, highest doses for both, and neither of these medications is working very well for me at this point. I can pass a little bit of stool, but not much, so I'm constantly extremely backed up. I had to spend about half my waking hours lying down because I'm so bloated and nauseous and often in pain. As far as OTC laxatives, nothing really works there either. Ducalase, enema, suppositories, magnesium citrate, nothing works. I was supposed to have colonoscopy today, but couldn't keep the bowel prep down. The procedure had been rescheduled for a month from now, and one of the nurses at my GI office prescribed a pill-based cleanse. The pill is called Sutab. I was warned ahead of time that patients often have trouble completely emptying their bowels with this pill, so given my struggles, I'm doubtful that this will actually work for me. Here's my question. Has anyone here gone to the point where nothing works? Meds were OTC laxatives and had to have some sort of in-office medical procedure done? I'm so sick and so miserable. What about professional colonics? I'm not even sure how those work, so I talked about that earlier in this presentation. If anyone has any advice or experience with this, I'll be very grateful if you could share them with me, what you ended up doing, and what the outcome was like. Thank you. The struggle is real. So put yourself in the shoes of this person. They, upon waking up, they're waking up in discomfort, okay? And they have to spend about half their waking hours lying down. They're so bloated and nauseous. Constipation, it is a life-threatening disease that you need to fix early. And the way that you fix it, I don't know how you're gonna, I'm just sharing with you what's worked for me and hundreds of other people over the years that I've taught. And this could be a piece of the puzzle to help you resolve. And some of you may need to get that professional help. Naturopathic doctors, integrated medicine, going to your colon hydrotherapist on a regular basis to kind of get yourself back to normal. Okay, some of you may go down trying different self-flush solutions like the one I explained today, and that's going to help you clean out both the small and large intestines combined. I'm going to share so many things with you that is off the radar screen, and some of it's going to make you freak out. This is definitely not safe for work, so keep on watching. I'm just going to take a small break and go through my social media to see if there are any questions. I also want to let you guys give you a little bit of a relationship advice. Now, if you're dating somebody that has digestive problems, you may want to somehow find a new person, or it's just not going to end up nice, because if this person's having problem with digestion and they're not interested in fixing it, they think that, oh, you know, I'm 4 days chronically constipated, but that's just how my body works. This person's going to end up like these people on Facebook groups, okay? Just imagine you're dating somebody with all these problems. Are you going to be fulfilled? You know, because there's going to be so much downtime just going to the doctors. You're having your calendars just filled up with different medical procedures or doctor visits, it's endless. I want to bring as many analogies that I can to help really drive this idea home. Your digestive system is very similar to plumbing in your own home. If the garbage disposal is broken, you must fix it immediately or find somebody that can help you fix it. If you don't, all that nasty smell is going to invade the rest of your house because that waste material cannot go through this pipe and out the back. Same thing, your house is a series of pipes. You have water in and water out. Maybe your toddler doesn't know what he's doing. He's throwing his favorite action heroes down this toilet. He flushes it. But then you use the bathroom and you try to flush down your number 2 and it's not going down, right? It's all stuck in this pipework right here. And you're freaking out because you're flushing this toilet, the water's just backing up on you. Your body works very similar to this toilet bowl because you do not have waste material coming out. Even when people burp, people have bad breath, it is so repulsive, it's revolting to be around them because they're chronically constipated. So all that nasty smell has to go through their mouth, okay? And it's going to destroy your environment because you have poop overflowing through the toilet. And if you don't clean it up right away and fix the root of this problem, which is unclog this pipework, so they can go into the sanitary sewer and get it treated, right? Your body works just like this. If your bathroom sink is having problems because there's a lot of hair congested in this pipework, water is not coming through, it's not flowing through, then you need to open up this pipe, you need to clean out all that garbage. Because if you don't, it's just going to reek, it's going to be very, very nasty. And your body works the same way. Now, I also want to share some other information that is beyond your scope of awareness, because most people don't even talk about internal parasites. Internal parasites are very real. They're affecting billions of people around the world, and it does not matter if you live in a first world country, a third world country, or somewhere in between. Parasites affect every socioeconomic sector. Okay? People are shopping in Whole Foods in the United States and they can see worms in their Whole Foods salmon. Or if they go to Costco, they can see worms just swimming around in their Costco salmon. Okay? And I want you guys to learn about these organisms. Today we're going to go through just a few of them. Number 1, this is the liver fluke. You have pinworms, you probably heard about these when you were younger. Then we have tapeworms. Then we have roundworms. Okay, and all these different parasites, they can attack the human body. Understanding parasites, you need to look into their life cycle. You want to defeat your enemy, you have to learn about your enemy and how they operate. How liver flukes work, they first hatch in water, and parasites that have a way of upgrading themselves with different organisms or intermediary hosts. They will find their way into a host, such as a snail, extract the nutrients out of this host, go out of this host, and land on some vegetation. Once on this vegetation, the cow or sheep that comes over, they start to eat this vegetation, and that's how the liver fluke ends up in the cattle, in the sheep. This is a huge problem in anybody in ranching business. If you know people that are in Australia, New Zealand, Montana, Idaho, anywhere, if they're ranching, raising cattle, raising sheep, they have to deal with this. If their cattle is losing hair, it's getting sick all the time, right? Has no appetite. Oftentimes, they're finding liver flukes in their system. They have to take medications to get rid of their liver flukes. The liver flukes likes to attack the liver. The liver has a lot of nutritional value. It stores vitamins and minerals. So me personally, I don't recommend people eating that raw liver. You see videos online now where people are praising people to eat raw liver. Liver King, things. I don't recommend it because you may be ingesting liver flukes, and they're going to get inside of you. Once they get inside of you, they're going to continue to attack your liver. Parasites are very good at doing two things. They know how to survive, they know how to replicate. Two things they're very good at doing. There are many different risks around you. Let's just say if you like to eat a lot of raw foods, Food Network, Food Channel, talking about steak tartars. This is the French version. They have a Korean version. Or if you're eating Korean barbecue, I used to eat a lot of Korean barbecue. And there's some kind of a time limit. So you're going to rush through the cooking. Doesn't matter if it's pork, doesn't matter if it's beef. There are parasites. Over here, you're dealing with roundworms. They're very common in intestinal products, which are very common in Asia. This is hot pot. Also, people like to eat sushi, raw fish, sashimi. Now, study up on the life cycles of tapeworms. There are beef tapeworms, pork tapeworms, and also fish tapeworms. Any raw, undercooked meats have the risk. This is what they look like under the microscope. Now, these are the different suckers. These suckers gives them a very good foothold on the intestinal walls. Okay, so they're not going anywhere. They're just kind of like attached. And over here, this is where they suck the life force out of you. This is the rostellum, and it just goes in and out of your body. They suck the blood, they suck whatever they can to extract nutrients from you. And from there, they're feeding their reproductive system. That's what they do. You have the head, these different suckers, the rostellum, sucking the life force out of you. And over here, understand the tapeworm is a hermaphrodite. It reproduces all by itself. The progatid is a reproductive system, and each progatid can hold 100,000 eggs. If you have a tapeworm that has 1,000 progatids, do the simple math, we're looking at 100 million eggs. People are getting overrun by internal parasites. Here's somebody in Thailand. They pulled out a tapeworm that is so long, it was 59 feet or close to 18 meters. 18 meters of tapeworm inside their digestive tract. Just think about that. Earlier in this presentation, we talked a little bit about basketball, right? The basketball hoop, 3 meters off the floor, or roughly 10 feet. That parasite is 18 meters. So we're dealing with a parasite that has the height of 6 NBA hoops stacked one on top of another. Okay? So that's why they can put that parasite in a big ass jar like this. Now, your pets are also at risk. Your pets can carry a lot of parasites. And most people don't know that. Over here we have a cat. The owner's pulling out a tapeworm out of this cat. Because cats, you don't know what they do all day. They go outside, some of them. They might kill a rat here or two, get into a fight with a raccoon. Or they're just picking up, random foods, raw things, as they're going about their day. Same thing with dogs. Dogs, how they greet one another is they start to sniff each other's behinds. They're always licking things, items, fire hydrants. So many pets there are full of parasites, and as you are very close with your pets, they're going to transfer their parasites into you. Okay? It's going to be a collection of tapeworms, roundworms, and many other different types of parasites. So stop making these videos unless you're very confident that you're also deworming your dogs and cats, because most people don't actually even look into this. They don't deworm their dogs until there's a serious problem. Deworming is a regular thing you can do on a very consistent basis. Just like the detox protocol I talked about earlier, the selfless protocol is not something you just do one time. Same thing with detoxing, parasitic activity. It's going to take months because just do the research. Over here, if you're traveling abroad, go into the Amazon, do your ayahuasca ceremonies, or if you go to Indonesia, go to Asia, seeing those ancient Buddhist monasteries, ancient sites, you need to go there prepared. Because if you just drink the local water, you put yourself at risk for parasitic activity, and you come back to the US, you're feeling horrible, right? And oftentimes the doctors do not look into parasites. I'm not joking. Many doctors, when you tell them, what do you think about parasites? It's not on their radar. So you're having these different symptoms, right? Oftentimes they say, oh, I'm going to prescribe you with some antibiotics, or I'm going to put you on some corticosteroids, which will suppress your immune system. We mentioned about this, raw meats, undercooked meats, carry risk. Even raw watercress, there are parasites that can attach themselves to vegetation. Parasites, they can go outside the digestive tract and cause all sorts of inflammation. Over here, somebody, they're dealing with cysticercosis. So parasites gone outside of their digestive tract begins to attack other parts of their body. Okay? Or parasites have gone outside of the digestive tract, start to attack their brains. This is the MRI scan. This is called neurocysticercosis. So when you're traveling around the world, you may need to avoid foods like this where they're just using raw blood. Okay? And some people, they are eating raw fish. The locals, they eat it as part of their local delicacy. Well, they put themselves at risk. And if you go there, you want to do YouTube videos, you also put yourself at risk. Well, don't be surprised. You may see parasites on the surface of your skin. Pinworms are very common. Pinworms, they usually lay their eggs at the tail end, of your anus. So that's why people have that itching sensation. And until you start to take care of this, it's going to be scratching your behind. Many people in the world, affecting almost 1 billion people worldwide from all socioeconomic classes. That's a lot of people. It doesn't matter if you're a small child or an adult, there's risk. Over here we have roundworms. Roundworms are also very common in your pets, in your rabbits, in ducks even. Now, many people, they can get their parasites directly from their pets. Now, here's one thing people don't look into is that these parasitic infections can get so severe, they're taking over your entire body. As I said before, they know how to survive and replicate. This is not Animal Planet. They're extracting all these roundworms out of the human colon. If you have this many roundworms stuck in your digestive system inside here, of course your poop's going to have a tough time getting out. It doesn't matter how much more fiber you eat. You need to get rid of these worms. You guys understand? Or they're going to begin to attack your liver. This is the human liver. The doctor's pulling out roundworms one after the next. Okay? And the liver is also part of your digestive system. And we're going to talk about the liver in the future and how you can clean out that organ. A lot of people don't know. Over here, these are some herbs you can look into, work with your integrated medicine, naturopathic doctors, or different doctors that can talk intelligently about internal parasites. Clove bud has been a popular treatment for parasitic infections for centuries. Over here, this is wormwood. Over here, it's also been used as traditional herbal medicine for treat different parasitic infections. Before all this allopathic medicine came, people knew about parasites. There are books in the 1800s that talk about internal parasites. And there were books written on different herbs that people used to treat their livestock also themselves. Okay, so don't neglect just because it's an herb. Don't think that, oh, I should just neglect it because it's a stupid herb. Listen, people have been using this for centuries. Now, I also look into different OTC medications that are out there. This is mebendazole. Mebendazole, something that you can use to treat roundworms, whipworms, pinworms, and hookworms. Okay, I've used mebendazole many times. They also sell them here in Taiwan. You can get them for cheap. OTC, do not need a prescription for it. Over here, this is black walnut and wormwood tincture form. This is wormwood combination. This is in pill form. I want you to learn about different herbal blends, different medications. I don't care if it's OTC or precision strength, to learn how you can flush out all these different parasites, because more than likely, many people around the world, they're dealing with multiple parasites in their body right now. And it's causing all sorts of havoc in their bodies. These are more precision strength. This is not precision strength, but over here, albendazole. This is another medication. You need a doctor's prescription. So for that individual who's dealing with neurocysticercosis, they're going to have to find something that is precision strength to help eliminate those internal parasites. Over here, these are just some products you may be able to find on Amazon. And some of them are herbal blends, tinctures. Some of them are OTC medications. And for your pets, looking to panic your C for your dogs. And for your cats, I think they have something called med something. Yeah, just work with your vets, okay? There are medications for them. But you want to do it regularly, because dogs, cats, especially if they're outside, you don't know what they're doing all day. You have no idea. And they're looking on this, you're eating things, some dogs are so stupid, they eat the feces of other dogs. Now, taking a quick look, I want you guys to have the presence of mind. You're looking at this presentation, you're like, okay, John, I know what you're talking about. I need to eliminate parasites. It seems that there's a big, strong connection between parasites and also chronic constipation. It just makes sense to me that the person has this many roundworms, of course the poop's going to have a tough time coming out. Okay? Now, I highly recommend you guys to find your way to clean out this pipework completely. At the beginning of my presentation, I shared about my selfless protocol, right? Cleaning out the small and large intestines combined. Now, if you don't know how to do that, you need to fix that problem first. You need to clean out this pipework completely first. You can use my protocol, you can find another protocol online, but it's got to be consistent. You know every step of the way what's happening in your body. You're drinking the solution, whatever solution you're drinking, creating the laxative effect, so you can clean out this pipework. A lot of people, they might hear about parasites and they're so gung-ho about, oh, I just got to take these meds, okay, and eliminate them out of my body. Unfortunately, if your situation is so severe, right, you're dealing with chronic constipation that you do not even know how to resolve, you're going to have more problems. The reason is, okay, so you are dealing with this photo here. So let me pull it up. Over here, you're the picture on the left right here. You're chronically constipated. You don't know how to go from the picture on the left to the picture on the right. You eat those medications, you take those medications, now you're going to have a whole bunch of dead parasites sitting inside of you. Still, you don't know how to get them out. I don't recommend that. Why don't you clean this out first? Go from the picture on the left to the picture on the right. Then you go after the parasites. So you have every confidence of flushing out the dead carcasses out of your body. Once again, to give yourself a fresh start on the inside. Okay? I'm going to go through my social media real quick. If you're on my YouTube, welcome, put in your questions. Thanks for joining us on this call. Appreciate you. Over here, also broadcasting on Facebook, broadcasting on Rumble, you know what I'm saying? Broadcasting on Twitch. So who am I? I'm just another regular guy. Years ago, I had a lot of chronic constipation. I had workout plans, I was going to the gym, eating right for the most part, could not get rid of this belly fat. Extremely frustrating. When your body is chronically inflamed, it tends to hold on to excess body weight, fat, and also water. Now, for the last 5 years, I no longer have chronic constipation because I know how to clean myself from the inside. I taught this program to myself and hundreds of other people all around the world how to get this done. Now, without me going to the gym, I can achieve a physique just like this. I'm not saying exercise is not important. However, you just gotta do some simple exercises at home. Once your body is clean, you restore your internal organs, your metabolism is just going through the roof. It begins to just burn through all your excess fat. That's what happens. And that's what I've experienced, and I continue to go on this path, right? And you can also look on the bottom. There are many people that try my program, very successful with it. Not just in the English language, I also teach this in Chinese. You guys can look on my YouTube, my Instagram actually. On my Instagram, there is a section that has testimonials. There's so many of them. I get them on a regular basis. I'm very, very grateful. And I'm very happy you guys are achieving your results, So over here, people are sending me their testimonials. Sometimes a video testimonial. And I want you guys to get this program. You guys understand, okay? Now I'd explain it very well in the earlier part of this presentation. And I also offer one-on-one coaching. I think that would be very helpful for some of y'all. You don't know how to resolve where you are. Now, doesn't matter if you're trying to fix chronic constipation, if you want to eliminate internal parasites, or if you're on a liver cleanse, you want to learn how to clean your liver, your gallbladder. I know how to do that too. I'm on this warpath, and I want to develop community. You guys are part of this journey with me. We want to improve the conditions of our internal organs. The way that we're going to improve it is we need to learn about it, right? Because we all have a liver. If you're a healthy individual, just like the digestive system, you have a liver, you have a gallbladder, and you have a pancreas, right? This is insulin production. Over here, gallbladder produces bile to help you break down healthy fats. And the liver has 500 other functions. Wouldn't it be important for us to clean out the liver? Because the liver works like a filter. It works like a filter of your car, And you have filters on your back, kidneys. Okay, you also have your spleen, which also works as a filter. Most people, they just wait too late until they have a gallbladder attack. They get a gallbladder attack, they go to the hospital, and the doctor said that we got to remove this gallbladder completely. I want to avoid that, right? I have done the gallbladder cleanse 43 times. This weekend will be my 44th. I am so proficient at this, and every single time that I do this, I'm so surprised by the amount of gallstones that will fall out or congestion that gets released from the liver, okay? So the book that I read was Liver and Gallbladder Miracle Cleanse, an all-natural at-home flush to purify and rejuvenate your body. I love these at-home programs because I don't have to see anybody. Do things in the comfort of my own home, right? Now my program is also a little bit different than Andre and Morris's, but I still want to give him a lot of appreciation because he taught me so much. And same thing with the salt flush solution. This is where you guys got to start. Why don't you start by first cleaning out the small and large intestines? That's your number one. Fix this first. Get this pipework completely cleaned out. Then you think about internal parasites. Get rid of internal parasites, and that might take a couple more months. Then you think about flushing out the gallstones out of your gallbladder, the potential intrahepatic stones in the liver. Do that for a couple more months. Then you think about how to flush out kidney stones from your kidneys, because those are also very real, and that's what I'm learning right now. And if you are on my video, I want you guys to just chime in, maybe reach out to me on my social media, and let me know what is your protocol to clean out your kidneys. Do you have a protocol right now? Because a lot of people, they have no solutions, right? And a lot of people that have kidney troubles, eventually they're on dialysis for life. We don't want that. That is the practical pessimism, right? But how well do we know this photo? How do we know how to clean this up, right? Are there different protocols out there? This is what I'm using right now, okay? And I'm just finding all the herbs I can find, and I'm incorporating it daily. I've only started this back in August, okay? And I'm seeing some improvements. I don't want to tell about them right now. I'm sure in the future discussion, but these are the different types of herbs that are being used. And they were hard to find in a traditional Chinese medicine store, because this is not really Chinese medicine. These are herbs that a lot of people use in cooking. Okay, so think of them just like you want to get these herbs and put them in the right proportions and just follow through on the recipe to help dissolve potential kidney stones, because a lot of us, we probably do have congestion in our kidneys now. Instead of waiting until the problem is so severe, we have the presence of mind and saying, you know what, I'm just going to go clean these kidneys out right now. Okay, I think that would be the much smarter way of doing things. I'm going to go through my comments real quick. If you have any questions. So if you're on my YouTube to watching now, just let me know how I can answer any questions you have. We cover a lot of material today. I also learn a lot on these presentations. Anyway, I want to thank all of you for being on this call. Maybe you're on this call or you watch this video later. And if you want to connect with me, just put it in the comments below, or just send me a DM on my Instagram. If you need further assistance, maybe you need one-on-one consultations, we can get on a call. I want to learn a little bit more about where you're coming from, what you're currently struggling with, and what you've tried so far, and see what may be a good fit. And for those of you you're confident enough, you guys can get my program. Okay, I have other PDFs for you to download as well. If you look on my Gumroad, which I'll leave the link in the comments descriptions below. This is my main program. I have a free PDF here you guys can get. Deals with parasites over here. This is improving your liver health. In this PDF, I just give you my exact outline, what I do to clean out the liver. If you want to send me a tip, you can do it here. And if you're looking for more personalized one-on-one coaching, just reach out to me in my DMs and we can discuss if you're a good fit for my program. So I want to thank y'all for watching this presentation. I know some of you watch all the way to the end. Appreciate you for doing that. And just stay connected in my social media and we'll get on the next call. I'll talk to you soon.